Welcome into our lives.
And welcome to the Expanders Club podcast.
We're so happy to have you.
Join us as we embark on a journey of deep exploration, soul searching, and asking the hard questions.
With the goal of truly understanding the most aligned, empowered, and purposeful versions of ourselves.
We want to live an extraordinary life, and we're willing to dig deep to find out what it takes.
Buckle up. You're about to meet a new version of yourself, an extraordinary one. Hello and happy November, my friends. Welcome to the Expanders Club podcast. My name is Brooke Harris. I am a CEO, an oracle, a psychic, a friend along this journey of spiritual growth, evolution, really here with the goal and purpose to empower you along your journey, help bring and share and give you information, help inspire you through big and impactful conversations, and help you remember the truth that you have and are everything that you need, and you got this. So today we're going to do something a little different. I'm really excited to share these messages with you, and I'm a little nervous. I want to share some messages and guidance for the month of November. It's a big month. We're a few days in already, and some of you might be feeling that, probably all of you, especially if you are here in the United States of America. Scorpio season itself is a little wild. I don't know how it's been going for all of you, but pretty quickly into Scorpio season. I was ready for Scorpio season to be over, but just trying to remember everything that is happening happens for me, and everything happens for a reason. And, just face kind of these lessons of Scorpio season, these last lessons of Pluto being in Capricorn, just face them head on. And really, really let go of anything that, is no longer serving me, and that I'm ready to let go of, the kind of hidden context beneath those words for me is that it's been a little bit of a wild ride. I don't want to say good or bad. I don't think labeling it that way is true or useful. But the past few weeks have been really interesting. We've made some big decisions within our family, which I will share with you guys in the very near future. That's exciting, but big and emotional and a lot. Business has been interesting. Some things that I thought were going to go one way went a very different way. And, always things go how they're supposed to, but doesn't make it less challenging in the moment. So some interesting things there that are testing me, and really, the universe asking, has she learned this lesson yet? And let me tell you, I've learned it. I'm so done with the lessons of my past, and I don't know how you guys feel, but I'm ready to make sure the universe knows that I've learned those lessons and really ready to walk in my own power. So those are some little hints of what's going on in my life. If you're feeling in it, you are not alone, my friend. You are not alone. It has been a big year. It has been a big few months. It has been a big few weeks. And hopefully some rest and fun is coming for us all. But I'm going to share some messages with you for November. Messages that I've channeled, messages that I've been guided to share, and I'm a little bit nervous. I'm not nervous about the messages at all. Like, they're so clear and wonderful, and I think they'll be really useful and helpful. I just, I take my job very seriously as being the translator of these messages and bringing them to you. And so I want to make sure that I'm translating them in a way that feels impactful and useful, and clear for you. So this is my first time sharing, I do this work for myself every month. What's the energy of the month? What are the messages for the month? What do I need to be focusing on type of questions, and channel that information for myself every month. And that's kind of how I navigate through my month. And it has been incredibly helpful. But this is the first time I'm doing it for a collective. And I specifically asked for the messages for this group. For anyone listening to this podcast or anyone in my orbit that, might be open to receiving this communication. So my process is I ask some questions to, a higher dimension, the universe, if you will, a higher consciousness, and I receive information, and I do not judge that information. For me, I write the information down as it comes in. And through that, it's very clear that this is not coming from my own head, my own thoughts. It is divinely channeled. And this information specifically is meant for me to share with you. So I am going to read out of my notebook because that's where I wrote this information. And let me tell you guys, I've been trying to avoid doing this podcast for weeks. Kind of the information started to come to me a few weeks ago into October, maybe even early October. And I was like, okay, I'll start sharing, monthly guidance in November, which was all fine and well when it was early October and it was still weeks away. And as the quote unquote deadline has approached, I've gotten a little bit more antsy and nervous and kind of backing away from doing it. I'm not fully sure why. Maybe you guys can read into that. But, it's hard to use your voice. It's weird to, Gemini and Chiron, if you know. Using my voice is important for my own evolution and speaking my truth. But it is a little weird for me to say, hey, I have a channeled message for you to guide you through November. And beyond even writing that, it's difficult to write it and share things like that on Instagram, right? But now I'm going to use my voice, which is a very personal tool. And, if you're watching this on YouTube, you see my face. This is very personal. So I guess that's why I've been feeling a little intimidated about it, but the information won't leave me. The guides won't leave me alone until I share this. So this is partially because I'm excited to share the information. I think it is really wonderful and will be helpful, and partially to get this off my plate and out of my brain and out of my orbit, so that I can move on to the next thing, because it's very clear that I'm meant to share this with you. So here we go. Your messages, your guidance for the month of November 2024. All right. This year has expanded us. It has stretched us in ways that might feel hard, but are necessary and always for the better. Now it's time to process that expansion and own it. You've changed, whether you wanted to or not. And there's no going back, my friend. You've stepped into a portal of expansion, and the faster you make peace with that, the easier this will go. Transformation is not for the faint of heart, but all you have to do is choose to be brave. The universe will take care of the rest for you. This is the time to let the universe know you are ready. Let it know you choose transformation. Let it know you choose expansion. You choose the good life. And they asked me to give you an outline for what this transformation expansion can look like. Think of this as kind of like a treasure map. There's no road names or clear path. You just have this map, and you know where the treasure is, and you know the stops or the pieces you need to collect to get to the treasure. But you get to pave the path. You get to decide which path makes the most sense for you to actually get there. But these are the things. Think of these as the stops on your way to the treasure. So again, they've asked me to give you the outline for the process of transformation. So here we go. Number 1, commit. Commit to growth and transformation. Commit to knowing and loving yourself. 2 things that are a huge journey, and we've talked about them so many times on this podcast. They're such an important foundational piece. Commit to learning and understanding your truth. Number 2, let go. Let go of the past and its stories. Let go of trying to figure it all out. Let go of thoughts, conditioning, actions that are no longer fully in alignment with your soul. Okay, so number 1 is commit. Number 2, let go. And drum roll, number 3, show up. Do the work. Take the small steps each day to get incrementally better. Incrementally closer to the light. Closer to your truest self. And then repeat. And every time you repeat these things, you will level up. You will transform. You will be on a path. You know, the path, it's hard to say. I don't want to say there is no ending, but it is a eternal path. It is one that we are on in this lifetime while we're in this dimension and this frequency, and that we will experience in other dimensions and frequencies in a very different way. But it's really important, and we're almost at a place in time where it is inevitable. I'm seeing this in a lot of my readings and conversations with clients, where we're all feeling this pull to change, this pull for something different, this calling, or maybe we don't even know what to label it, but we're feeling something's not right. We're antsy, anxious, we don't feel right or the same in our body. And that is the call to transform, to expand. There's no ignoring it. You know, the longer you ignore it, you're just in that discomfort, uncomfortable place. There's much more comfort and joy in actually just, doing these things and committing to being on the path. So let me just review those again. Here's the way that you decide to step onto the path of transformation. You commit, you let go, and you show up. So then I asked, okay, great. Those are some pretty big things. And that's just within those, that could be a lifetime of work, right? We're talking about November. What is important for November? And clearly it was important for you guys to hear that message and know what the path looks like, because this feels like the moment where you're really declaring that you are ready to step onto the path. Or if you already feel like you have stepped onto the path, you're just declaring and letting the universe know you're committed and willing to do whatever it takes for your expansion. And I don't mean that in this intense way, but you're committed to do the work. You're committed to work toward being the light. You're committed to your growth. And so that's what this month is about, is really making that, really understanding what that is and what that means, and kind of stepping into that willingness and declaring yes, I'm here, I'm ready, I'm willing, I'm gonna commit, I'm gonna show up, I'm gonna let go, and just guide me, universe, just guide me on this path. So that's a big piece of information that they wanted you to know for the month. You're not going to do all those things this month. Trust me. Trust me, as someone who has been on this journey for a while and understands what a lot of the details of those things mean. It it's gonna be a bit. It's not gonna be the month of November, but it's very important for this moment in time that you understand what the big picture of the journey looks like, and like what the big pieces and the big assignment is. Now there's a lot of little stuff in there, and that's where you get to have fun. You get to dig into all of those little things and, like I said, have this incremental growth, this like, I've said it before, kind of you're like shimmying through the portal a little bit at a time, raising your vibration, raising your frequency, becoming more expanded, and it gets to be a lot of fun, actually. And that's a huge message that's coming through for everyone at this time. Like, bring in the joy. The key to all of this is not to like look at this journey as if it's this like long, dreadful path and there's this destination we're trying to get. It is to have some freaking fun. Enjoy it. Bring in the joy. Vibrate in joy and love and excitement. Find the beauty and the joy in all the little moments of this journey. And that also like helps to raise your vibration much faster. The frequency of joy is so high vibe. So I said, okay, cool. That's a really important message and love it. Love that we're sharing that. It could feel like a lot, but it's not meant for you to feel like a lot. It's just meant for you to have that information, kind of like keep this information in your pocket or keep it in the back of your head, or, maybe even write it on a piece of paper and stick it on the wall. And let's now start to write out the little paths, or let's start to take the little paths that lie within that information. So I said, like, what's the mission for November? Okay, let's dial this down and let's give the people something that is useful and that they can follow and kind of absorb and, feel like they're making some progress on. So what's the mission for November? Commit and get clear. Use November to start to get clear on the work that is immediately in front of you. That is very important. The work that is immediately in front of you. And really all you have to do is ask. You can ask your guides. If you don't have, if you aren't accessing your ability to hear or see or know information from your guides, still ask and they'll show you. Signs will show up in life. Opportunities for the information to reveal will show up in life. So ask. What is the work that is immediately in front of you? Here's some other things they want you to ask. What do I need to let go of today for my growth? What do I need to let go of today for my growth? What parts of my life need to change or need to be looked at through a new lens? Where can I simplify? This is a huge message that has come through this past month, and I think it'll be something that sticks around for a bit. Where can you simplify in life? What things that are you doing that don't really matter, that maybe you're doing for your ego, or maybe you're doing to not make someone else upset, or because they want you to, or that just make you feel good because it makes you look busy or look important? Where can you simplify? Simplification is the name of the game. Simplification leads to clarity, or they kind of go hand in hand. The clearer we get, the simpler things come. The more we simplify, the more clarity we have, right? And here's a big one. And this might take a bit for you to get the answer. This might take some practice. This might take you asking this 10 times and journaling every time and seeing what happens. What do I want out of life? And you could even put, a lot of times when I'm asking questions like this big, I like to put the language right now. What do I want out of life right now on there, because it kind of like pulls it back into what is happening in your life right now and what you can control or what you can impact. And either way, this question is something that I think we don't really ask ourselves enough, or we aren't clear on. We all want to manifest things. We all want to get to where we're going. We all want to get to this place of alignment, transformation, expansion. But we don't actually, like, we haven't actually taken the time to think about and understand what that actually means to us. So this is a month to get really clear. What do I want out of life? And that doesn't mean that this is the answer forever, or that the answer doesn't change, or that there's not actually something bigger and better for you out there, because, like, we can't even imagine what the universe has in store for us, like how big and beautiful and amazing it can get. But take the time to get clear on what you think it is. What do I want out of life? And please share with me if you're open to it. DM me. I'd love to hear. Your willingness to transform is 80% of the work. That is so true. The willingness brings the guidance, the clarity, the momentum. Just being willing, things will start to kind of fall into place to help, give you a little boost on the journey. As you ask these questions, as you put in the effort, the universe will support you. Your path will become clearer and clearer. The right help and opportunities will show up. You will start to feel more joy, more freedom, more flow. You will be walking your path, and every moment will be supportive and expansive. Okay, that was a lot. Here are some simplified themes. I asked, give me the themes of, break down the themes a little bit simpler. The themes: get clear. What does your biggest life look like? What are you willing to do the work? Simplify. Let's go back to that one. Get clear. What does your biggest life look like? That's one. They're saying this is a time to, like, start strategizing in a really fun way, not fully like a daydreaming way, but in a how will you start to strategize and get organized about creating the life that you want? And are you willing to do the work? The answer has to be yes, right? And I think that's why they're saying, like, what does your dream life, or what does your biggest life look like? Like, have fun with that first. And then ask yourself, are you willing to do the work? Is this worth it? Because the answer is always going to be yes. And let me tell you, as someone who is doing the work toward their dream life and has had major moments of feeling like, wow, life is really good and in flow, and this is it. It's so worth it. And, like, I did a lot of work, and it was ugly and painful, and it makes me kind of nauseous thinking about it. But I'm here, not on the other side, or on some side in a different place than that, and it's so freaking worth it. So the answer has to be yes, right? Simplify. What am I doing that is unnecessary, or is for someone or something other than my truest self? So get clear, simplify. And then the last one sounds very simple, but I know it can be hard for a lot of us. Rest and restore. Use November, and I think that will probably be a theme for December too. Like, we're all feeling it. Daylight savings, winter, darkness. Like, this is a time. We had a big summer and a big fall. We did a lot. And if you don't believe that, maybe take a moment and sit down and reflect, do some reflecting in your journal, and you will remember it's been a big few months. And so give yourself a little break. Give yourself the permission to rest and restore, because exciting times are coming. But you need to be energized. You need to be well rested. You need to be clear. You need your life simplified. You need to get all the excess and the unnecessary out of the way. You need to get the old stories and the conditioning out of the way, and you need to be excited about what you're creating and be ready to commit and show up and do the work. Woo! All right. I hope that you guys are feeling really good hearing that information. It is an exciting time, and like the work is actually really fun and cool. And like, look, hey, we get to do it together. And there are so many fun modalities and tools and healers and resources to help you do the work. So, as always, we hope to share them here on the podcast. There's, if you're looking for something in particular, reach out to me. You can always DM, and like, I probably have a guy or a girl for that, from shamans to astrologers to energy workers to all of the things. If you're feeling called to work with me personally, I would love that. I love to help people understand their purpose, their power, their path through oracle sessions. If you've been listening, you might know I work through the Akashic Records. I work through channeling. I work through tarot and oracle cards. I work through just expansion and access to different dimensions. And I'm having a lot of fun doing that with my clients. We are uncovering a lot, and really, like I said in the beginning, my biggest goal is to empower you to understand your truth and your power. So if I can help you do that, please reach out or go ahead and book in an oracle session through the link in my personal bio on Instagram. That is _Brooke_Harris. And yeah, as always, stay tuned. We hope to bring you just the best of the best, and, be your buddies and your advisors and your friends on this journey. We are all on this together. So these messages that I'm sharing are for me as much as they are for you. And I am in it with you this November. Excited for the outcome, excited for us to all do this work, excited to see you on the other side of this month, and here if you need me. All right, friends, we'll see you soon.